And the last match that we are going to add to WrestleMania 41 is the one that I think a lot of people are probably screaming at their computer screens right now that I haven't touched on. We learned late last week that Kevin Owens will not be participating at WrestleMania, taking that one match, Owens versus Orton, off of the card. Now, this is all due to a neck injury that he sustained and will require surgery that a lot of people, myself included, asked, when did this happen? Did this happen in the ladder match and he just fought through at Elimination Chamber? Did this happen at Elimination Chamber? Because that was a crazy match. No, it happened 4 months ago, which means that's before the ladder match with Cody Rhodes. That's before the chamber match, the underground match with Sami Zayn, the the unsanctioned match. That's the word I was looking for, with Sami Zayn. And it stinks because Kevin Owens was on one of the best runs of his career in WWE. The way that he went about his change of personality from Bad Blood onward captivated me. It was one of the best stories going in WWE. It is, to this moment, the best feud that Cody Rhodes has had as champion. And it was something that was going to set Kevin Owens up to be one of the top heels in the business coming out of WrestleMania after, in my opinion, he beat Randy Orton. That's what was coming. And that would have catapulted him to being a top heel in this industry. Unfortunately, all of this happens, and there's some people that are saying, oh, it's storyline, it's this, it's that. Something tells me this is real. And I think most people would agree with it, but there are still some dissenters that are out there saying, oh, this is just storyline. It's not. They would not have built Kevin Owens up to this point to just bow out of WrestleMania storyline-wise 2 weeks before. So this is actually happening. This is actually something he's going to have to deal with, and this might actually be the end of Kevin Owens in WWE, which is unfortunate because, like I said, really, really good run here. And that leaves one big question. Is Orton going to be at WrestleMania? And the answer is yes. He has to be at WrestleMania simply because Randy Orton isn't getting any younger. Randy Orton has dealt with some injuries, and Randy Orton is healthy and ready to go. You don't take away an opportunity at WrestleMania for a legend like that at this stage of his career. So they're going to pivot. And the question all week has been, who do they go to? And the answer is right in front of your face. Some will say, oh, he just RKO'd Nick Aldis after that happened because he was frustrated. It's not the first time that he's RKO'd Nick Aldis. And I say to that, exactly. Exactly. For those who don't know, Nick Aldis is a very successful professional wrestler. He's not just a general manager of Smackdown, who I think is the better of the two general managers currently. But he's also a very, very well-traveled, very experienced professional wrestler. If you forgot, if you didn't know, he faced Cody Rhodes at the first ever All-In event. It was Nick Aldis versus Cody Rhodes. Nick Aldis is also a former TNA world champion. He's also a two-time NWA world champion. So he has the chops in ring. I don't know how much work he's done over the past handful of months, handful of years even, but you'd have to imagine that that is the best story, the best matchup that you can give to Randy Orton at the last minute. Yeah, you could do an open challenge and somebody comes out, maybe Aleister Black returns, but I don't think there's going to be anything that you can do well enough to match up to Nick Aldis versus Randy Orton. And it doesn't have to spring Nick Aldis into an in-ring career. It just is giving an opportunity to a guy that has been in this business for a very long time and a guy that is as close to Randy Orton storyline-wise as anybody else in WWE right now. I mentioned it's not the first time Randy Orton RKO'd Nick Aldis, the general manager. He did that directly after his return. And then, of course, the following week, we see Randy Orton giving Aldis a check, and it is for the fine that he got for RKOing the general manager of SmackDown. Of course, it's twice as much as it needed to be. And why is that? Randy Orton said, that's for next time. Well, we've reached next time. Randy Orton probably won't have to pay that fine. Maybe he will. But at the end of the day, it sets up perfectly Nick Aldis versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania 41. It's the only direction that they should go. Yeah, they could go in other directions. Like I mentioned, the open challenge has been talked about online a lot. But to me, You cannot get better. If he is able to get into a ring and fight, you cannot get better than Nick Aldis versus Randy Orton. So that's my vote